What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today I want to look over some film from the secondary. That's the biggest question mark for the Colts. You look at cornerback, you look at free safety, easily the biggest question marks for this year's Colts team. So this is where I want to look first, and this is going to be the longest one. We're going to look at everybody, right? From the starters down to the people at the bottom of the roster. We are watching all the defensive pass plays from the secondary in this game. Okay, so starting here, this is the first play for the defense in this game, first play for the Broncos offense. So let's go ahead and get this rolling, and you'll see a lot of this where you have Dallas Flowers. Down here, he's close to the line of scrimmage. Jalen Jones backed off the line of scrimmage. Kenny Moore sitting between the linebackers and defensive line. That is a lot of what you'll see in this Gus Bradley scheme. So get this rolling. Now, this play, if you're on Twitter, you've seen this. Okay, and this is what we want to watch. Okay, is this right here. You see this receiver coming up. He's just pushing up the seam. Kenny Moore and Nick Cross have this guy bracketed. When this receiver comes across the field, Julian Blackmon's going to have him covered. Okay, watch right here. Dallas Flowers, first play of the game. He's coming back from injury. And this is the first play in real action. But just watch, okay? We get the pressure. Quiddy Pay coming to the inside. Jarrett Stidham rolling out. And Courtland Sutton has enough time for this play to develop. And he absolutely breaks off Dallas Flowers. Gets away from him. Speed is paying attention to the running back. So bring this back. And you'll see as a running back comes out, speed is going to be down here, which is why Dallas Flowers over here in man needs to keep up with him. He's running with him and just gets lost, gets turned around right there for the first play of the game. So starting out, not exactly what you wanted to see from Dallas Flowers coming in, but hoping that can get better in time, right? Jalen Jones now at the bottom of the screen. Looks like this is probably Kenny Moore up here, Ronnie Harrison, I think, and Julian Blackmon, I think, is who we're looking at here. We get the second play from scrimmage for the Colts defense. Stidham, boom. Just an easy slant play. Tim Patrick breaks off Jalen Jones. Even though Jalen Jones was up on the line of scrimmage on this one, right? He was up against him, and then he just let him go, right? Watch that. Boom. He just lets him get inside. I don't know what he thought he was going to get there, but he just let him have the inside position right there, and that was an easy pitch and catch right there for the Broncos offense. And so here, just like we had before, we have Dallas Flowers down here up on line of scrimmage. Jalen Jones is off. Kenny Moore right behind the defensive line here. So let's just get this rolling. As we see Dallas Flowers getting pushed outside. That's where Jarrett Stidham's looking first, to see what's happening over here and to see this matchup with Courtland Sutton. We have a bunch of guys on this side of the field to lock all that up. See what Stidham does. Tries to throw it down here. Zaire Franklin in position the whole time. He is in his pocket right there. And a great pass breakup by 44. So just to bring that back and look at our pass coverage. Boom, just coming out. Just a really simple route. Zaire, being a veteran in the NFL, reads that and is able to get to that. All right, so right here is a third down. A couple penalties have the Broncos back where they are and has helped us get to this point. You can tell it's third down because Latu's down here on the line. That was his role early in this game. Dallas Flowers, EJ Speed over here, Zaire Franklin, Kenny Moore, and Jalen Jones. And they're all just sitting back. This is a third and long at this point because of the penalties. Just letting this go. They cover everybody downfield. You have Dulcich right here, the tight end, getting the ball. Kenny Moore right here for a huge tackle. Kenny Moore just bodying that man. So this here is going to be the first run play we look at, and just want to watch both EJ Speed right here, a linebacker, and Nick Cross back here in the back, right? We're looking for a safety that has range, that can move, that can make plays. And this run play going over to the right, Nick Cross coming up. Doesn't take a great angle, but is slowed down. The running back got slowed down by EJ Speed getting out there, and then Nick Cross is able to capitalize and is able to get him. But the initial pursuit by Nick Cross right there, not great. His angle wasn't great. If Williams doesn't get hit right there, Nick Cross probably never touches him. All right, so here we have the next pass play. You see Dallas Flowers all the way back this time. Jalen Jones up on him. That's just how this one goes. One of these guys are usually up against the line of scrimmage. Kenny Moore at the nickel, sitting right in between defensive line and linebackers here. See what they decide to do. Play action pass here. And again, just another dump off, and see what we're doing when you go deep. Julian Blackman has him over the top. Nick Cross has what I believe is Cortland Sutton right here. There is a space here where Tim Patrick is. Now, at this point, Kenny Moore's come back to the ball a little bit, and maybe that would have been a dangerous throw, but there is definitely some space here for Tim Patrick. And I know some people for the Broncos Syndicate, Gage over there, and he had talked about how Bo Nix, wasn't as clean a game for Bo Nix. He left some plays out there, and this is one of them, right? Probably could have had Tim Patrick down the field here, and instead dumps it down. But that's also because we were getting pressure, which is what we've talked about throughout this whole offseason. If we can get pressure, then we can get the ball out of his hands quickly. So having him check the ball down instead of being able to step up and have Tim Patrick down the field definitely helped the defense right there. But that could have just as easily been a big play for the Broncos offense. Then here on first down, lining up in shotgun, they come out and pass the ball. This is where we have Jalen Jones and Dallas Flowers both backed up Kenny Moore in his usual spot and let this roll. So they have two receivers out here playing a little bit of a levels concept, getting guys at the level down here. They have the running back coming out, and then they have guys going deep. And then, boom, Jarrett Stidham having to get off his mark because the pass rush is there, which is where you end up having the secondary helping the pass rush helping the secondary. Okay, we have everything completely locked up here. Jarrett Stidham doesn't have anywhere to go with the ball. The pass rush forces Stidham out of the pocket, and he ends up having to rush the ball real quick. All right, so this is the next play, second down. They're dropping back to pass again. Jalen Jones up on his guy, Dallas Flowers, Kenny Moore. See what we have happening here. So this one's getting gunned out to Jalen Jones, and I remember what play this is. This was an excellent play. I believe that's Cortland Sutton that he's on right here, and he's just in his hip pocket the whole way. He turns his head, gets his hand up, doesn't make too much contact. Great play right there by Jalen Jones. Exactly what we needed, right? Juju Brents didn't play in this game, so Jalen Jones gets thrusted into that cornerback one role and had a pretty good game. It wasn't perfect. Obviously, we saw the play earlier where he let up an easy catch to Tim Patrick, but a really nice play there by Jalen Jones down the field on Cortland Sutton. And then this next play, third down, let this roll. Boom, you see the running back over here just gets left wide open. Nobody over there to go get him. And let's let this roll. And boom, the bobble. Now, we got saved right there. Obviously, he catches that, gets a big gain right there. Do they end up getting the first down? I don't know. But it ends up being an easy third down for them. But instead, he bobbled the ball. The running back bobbles the ball. Colts defense gets saved because Kenny Moore is Kenny Moore, being in the right place at the right time, and has good hands. We can always depend on Kenny Moore to be able to get the interception if he's touching the ball. So good play right there by Kenny, but definitely over the first two drives of this game, the starters got lucky, right? Penalties ended the first drive for the Broncos, basically. And then this one, they had a guy wide open and would have kept the drive alive, but the guy bobbles the ball. Kenny Moore, opportunistic, is in the right place. So starters at this point, they don't give up any points. They end up with a takeaway, but it wasn't completely clean, right? They got to clean things up. They're not always going to have teams shooting themselves in the foot, right? So definitely some things to clean up, and we'll see that as we move along here. All right, so what we're looking at here, this is the third play of this drive. The running back down here, he started in the backfield, got pushed out. So right now they're going 5 wide against our secondary, Nick Cross being the one guy sitting in the backfield right now. So as we run this, Dallas Flowers on the bottom of the screen. And as you can see, Cortland Sutton here, just a quick break. Dulcich, there's some room back here, but this receiver looks to be going down the field. Let's continue to roll this. So Bo Nix is launching this ball right now. You see again, Dulcich has some space right here, and that's exactly where he was going. Luckily, Nick Cross was sitting back here, and he was able to get to that one. Right, so let's watch that. Nick Cross back here making a jump at the ball, almost gets to this. Now, if Bo Nix sees it and is able to throw it sooner, then Dulcich gets a big pickup right here. But lucky for us, he's just a tad late with this throw. Puts it in a spot where Nick Cross has just enough time to get there, makes contacts and breaks that one up. So far, Nick Cross not terrible in this game, right? Through the time that he's been in the game, there haven't been a bunch of big plays. He hasn't been blowing coverages. It's a small sample size, but so far Nick Cross seems to be doing pretty good in this game so far. Here on the next play, we have a play action. They had some motion before the play. This is a play action pass play. Latu on the field over here on the bottom. Let's keep this rolling, see what Bo Nix does. Bo Nix ended up having a pretty good game. You see Latu coming around the edge on Garrett Bowles here. Bo Nix is going to have to step up in the pocket, try to make a decision. He throws on the run. Ronnie Harrison right here next to the receiver, and boom. He makes a little bit of contact, falls right to the ground. Great job by the pass rush. Great job by the coverage, right? You look at everybody. We had him locked up. We had him locked up back here. Dallas Flowers was all over him. There was nobody over top. So luckily he wasn't able to have enough time to see that down the field and for that to break inside. But then he was locked up also. So just a good job overall by the defense. Secondary doing pretty good at this point. Now, I believe this is at this point, this is the second team. See Ronnie Harrison back here playing the safety position. And as we get this rolling, Cortland Sutton down here on Dallas Flowers. That's a matchup to look out for. He's trying to go deep. Looks like Bo's looking for him. You see Dallas Flowers, looks like he just fell on this. He did fall. Cortland Sutton ends up wide open on the sideline. So this is second time Cortland Sutton against Dallas Flowers. Let's just watch that. Boom, just breaks his ankles right there. Honestly, that's all that was. Acts like he was breaking inside toward the sideline, goes back around him. Dallas Flowers can't keep his balance, and he ends up wide open. Now, also, you see Ronnie Harrison back here on this side of the field to see what he was doing. Oh, he broke in where Cortland Sutton. So, same thing. Ronnie Harrison, that double move by Cortland Sutton got two different guys to bite on it. So, that's hard to defend. Cortland Sutton, one of the better receivers in the NFL. But nonetheless, that time, secondary getting got right there. Both those guys getting hit by the same double move. All right, so here for the secondary, we have a second down play. Dallas Flowers still on the field over here. And you can see we're playing back. This is a lot of what we do in Gus Bradley schemes, playing back. A lot of guys on the line of scrimmage, though. Right? I believe that's Segan Luby up here. Ronnie Harrison's up here. You just have the safety back here. So let's get this rolling. As you see, Ronnie Harrison breaks off. He's covering that tight end. This is going to be man coverage. We're sending 5 people at the quarterback. I got the running back here. But we're giving up a lot of ground to these guys. And because of that, boom, hits the quick slant coming out, or the out route here. And number 11 gets the ball with a quickness and pushes it up for a first down. Then to start the second quarter, the play before this was where Bo Nix fumbled the snap. But here we are where Bo Nix getting the snap. They're definitely passing the ball. And again, we're in the second quarter now. Second team's definitely on the field. You see he's taking his shot. Look at the bottom of the screen. Corner in his pocket the whole time. Boom, DJ Baker, number 39. He was all over Josh Reynolds right there. Josh Reynolds did a good job for the Lions last year. That was really good coverage right there by DJ Baker. And good to see him coming out and making plays. He's going to be on the bottom of the screen again. Somebody that I'm going to want to watch as we continue to go through this. Okay, dropping back for another pass. This one just a quick screen. Looks like we don't have anybody. All of our corners right now are occupied with the receivers. Hopefully, I think that's Ronnie Harrison there to make that play. Tommy Ade. Looks like that one. Oh, that one fell incomplete. Segan Alubi getting that one to fall incomplete. All right, so this is a little later in the second quarter. Again, Bo Nix at quarterback still. He played quite a bit in this game. And so far with the coverage we have a deep safety. We have a safety here kind of guarding the intermediate part of the field. And at the current moment, have everything locked up except for this running back kind of running free over here. Bo Nix, you see the edge coming around. Tommy Ade coming in here in the middle to make things difficult, having to get Bo Nix off his spot. He starts to scramble. And then you see defensive tackle out here. Big boy running with Bo Nix. Bo Nix ends up getting the first down. A real good job by Tommy Ade there, who's actually chasing Bo Nix as he got out of the pocket. And this one here, this is just a couple plays later. Going to be looking at the outside to see what these outside guys are doing, keep that rolling. So it looks like he's either about to get with a double move at the top or break to the inside. And he's just in his hip pocket this whole time. Makes the contact. Great job right there, Dallas Flowers. He ends up getting called for a pass interference. I think they showed an alternate angle of this one during the game, actually. And it turns out he actually did get pass interference. Yeah, had his arm around him. You can kind of see it right there. So just got to keep his hands a little more off of him, right? Can't be turning the receiver. But he was right there in his hip pocket. Didn't give him any space to make that catch. All right, so here we are with the Broncos have gotten inside the red zone at this point. You see, again, our coverage. We usually have one guy up and one guy back. In this instance, I believe Dallas Flowers up here is way back at this point, giving him a bunch of cushion, play action. Boom, just hits him with a quick out. Right, just easily giving him the quick out. I don't want to put that on Dallas Flowers, and that happens a lot. Like whether it's Jalen Jones, Juju Brents, Dallas Flowers, DJ Baker, like just in this Gus Bradley scheme with the way the corners are. Like we've seen it so many times already, right? One corner's up, one corner's back. When you're giving up that much cushion to somebody, they can easily just keep taking what the defense is going to give them, right? And at that point, you're hoping a team just, gets greedy and makes a mistake at some point, which is what the Broncos offense did at some points in this game. They shot themselves in the foot, but they end up with 34 points. And a lot of teams have been able to do that against this Gus Bradley defense. I think we have good players. I think we have players on the defensive side of the ball that could make us have one of the better defenses in the league. I just don't know if what Gus Bradley does, what his scheme does. I don't know if it's what we should be doing, right? We see throughout, and we'll see, throughout the rest of this game, like chunks of yards being given up. Yeah, we don't give up, a whole bunch of 60, 70 play touch or 70-yard touchdowns, but we do a lot of this where we're letting guys, letting all these teams go, 8-minute drives ending in touchdowns, but they're just taking, 4 to 7 yards at a time because that's what the scheme is going to give them. We're going to back off these guys and keep giving them that, which is, kind of what happens to Dallas Flowers a lot in this game. He gave up a lot of catches in this game, for how much he played, right? It's a preseason game. But we've already seen Dallas Flowers giving up some catches. Now, he's also been gotten his ankle broke by Cortland Sutton a couple times in this game. He's played some good coverage. It's been a very up and down game for Dallas Flowers at this point. But good that he's getting, looks like the most run out of anybody on defense, right? First game action since tearing the Achilles last year, letting him kind of get a feel for playing football again, which could probably bode well. Now, obviously, we hope Juju comes back and is able to play. But for what it's worth, the experience getting back on the field for Dallas Flowers is kind of the ideal thing to be happening right now. All right, so this here is a play that, this is the kind of little stuff that, having somebody like Justin Simmons, this could have been avoided. Does Justin Simmons have the athleticism to get to the right spot? I don't know. But I think Justin Simmons could have made the correct play, right? So let's play what goes on here. This ends up as a Broncos touchdown, okay? 19 here in motion. You see 81, Veal up here in coverage. I believe that's, again, Dallas Flowers on him. 81's been winning this matchup, right? Up to this point, 81 has done a good job against Dallas Flowers. So he's on him. Now, you see 19 here. Nick Cross is this guy right here, okay? Let's play this. 19 going in motion. Nick Cross is telling him to go out. Gus Bradley came out and said, just shortly before I started recording this, Gus Bradley came out and said that Nick Cross was responsible for getting out there. Nick Cross should have gotten out there quicker. He's trying to tell Dallas Flowers to get out there. That's not his job on this play. According to Gus Bradley, it was Nick Cross's job to get out there. If he doesn't hesitate, he knows what's coming. Okay, Nick Cross can see what's coming. So, right? So if he, instead of trying to get Dallas Flowers to go, if he does his job and goes with him, he's able to already be pushing up the field at this point. Bo Nix is immediately going for him. Nick Cross is looking right at it. He knows it's coming. And now he's at a point where he can't get there because he starts coming up the field way too late. And he almost got there. The athleticism of Nick Cross to almost get there, but 19's still able to make the catch, and that's on Nick Cross. Okay, we'll watch this in real time and just watch if Nick Cross just goes, go. If he goes sooner, that's a 100-yard pick six for Nick Cross. And he's no doubt the starting free safety going in to week one because of that play. All right, I want to watch when Bo Nix does his little jab step. Please watch when that happens. He does his little jab step, nothing special. 74. If you don't know who that is Jonah Lalu. He was drafted in the 7th round this year. Just watch this man for a second. I mean, he running completely that way. What is homie doing? This man just got broken off in the worst way possible. Like, what is he doing? Okay, but then watching as this play develops, you look at what we have. Receiver at the top is currently covered. Receiver on the bottom currently covered. You got, I believe that's 17. He's covered right now. Like, coverage is doing a good job right now. We have a safety in the deep middle of the field. But the one thing we didn't have covered up was going to be this tight end that leaked out down here. Ends up wide open with a bunch of space down here. Luckily, Rodney Thomas closes. Doesn't get the immediate tackle, but is able to trip him up and gets him down. So yeah, here in the 2-minute, they're going to keep passing the ball here. Boom, this is going to be another one. Getting out quick. We're giving them plenty of cushion. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to take exactly what we're giving them. 85 gets another catch. Terrible tackle attempt. Who was that? Let's turn this back. Watch. Is that 55? Is that Isaiah Land that just did that? That is outrageous. All right, next play. It's like got some guys going down the seams here. Bo Nix stepping up on the run. And this one behind 81 a little bit. So far we've seen Bo Nix struggling on the run. And that's a lot of quarterbacks, right? I mean, you know, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, they can throw on the run. But if you can make quarterbacks uncomfortable, then you can make them throw bad passes, which opens up opportunities for turnovers. Okay, so we have 2nd and 10 from the 48 here in the 2-minute. Bo Nix dropping back. We're able to get some pressure, right? I believe that's Tyquan Lewis, it looks like. We have a couple of different guys getting pressure here. Got 5 rushing on this play. Bo Nix having to move out of the spot. Gets hit as he throws this ball by Tomiade and is able to get the ball to his guy down here. But luckily, a good tackle here. Cameron McGrone, who is the 2nd highest rated linebacker for preseason week 1 in the NFL, right behind Zaire Franklin. So Cameron McGrone, Zaire Franklin, for how much they played, they did a good job in this game. Okay, but then here on this next play, Ronnie Harrison goes up and then dips back. It's like we have 7 guys dropping back into coverage here. Pass rush getting home. Bo Nix has to let go of it. Then as you go down the field, could have been great coverage. And Dallas Flowers, this is one of the mistakes in the game. Not the only time he gets hit for pass interference. I mean, he had it, man. I mean, just watch this. Ball's in the air. Just turn your head. Just turn your head. Jalen Jones did it earlier. We've seen it's possible, right? And that's why Jalen Jones is one of the starters, right? Just little stuff like that, man. You got to be able to turn your head. You know it's coming to you. You got to get your head around and make a play on that. And gets called for defensive pass interference and really helps Broncos out in this 2-minute offense. So we keep going here. Bo Nix stepping back and reading. Again, our edge guys making Bo Nix have to step up into the pocket. At this point, they probably noticed this is how we get them to make bad passes. So they get him going. But Bo Nix, once again, calm, cool, collected, dumps it down to a guy just sitting here in his space. He's able to get up a little bit. Good job getting a tackle there by Chris Lamons in the open field. So here we have 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line here for the Broncos. Trying to go in for the score. There's 12 seconds left. Now, luckily, Bo Nix, right, this play probably designed to just go out here. Let's not take too much time off the clock. This is your read. This receiver was supposed to break outside. Ends up breaking inside. Dallas Flowers, unfortunately, can't get his hands on the ball for the interception right there. But then, as you see, boom, they're going to end up kicking the field goal to end the half. All right, so this here, first defensive possession for the Colts in the second half. This is the second or third play of this drive, dropping back to pass. Is Bo Nix, I believe, is still in the game. And here again, we're giving him too much cushion. He's able to get outside, and this guy able to make a play for the Broncos. And that was one of the only plays that Mike Abraham really got, right? Number 33 out there. But again, he's having to play back here. Just give too much cushion, unable to get there for the tackle. And here we are on the next play. They end up going under center, but Bo Nix on the play action pass. And right now we have the deep safety. We have a couple guys back. This looks like it's probably cover 3. Grant Stewart here on the field. Liam Anderson right here, who did not have a good game. Let's keep progressing this, and boom. They're running everybody out so that they can do a screenplay right here. Ronnie Harrison gets blocked, does a good job getting through that, but they end up getting to the running back here. So see who ends up getting them, ends up tripping them up. It's number 74, Jonah Lalu, who looked goofy earlier. Good hustle right there to come get the running back on the screen pass. All right, so this here, couple plays later, got another pass play. And this here, this is what I was talking about. Like, just can't have that. I believe that also Liam Anderson didn't have a great game. See him right here creeping up toward the line of scrimmage. His assignment is the running back. And he's coming out here. This play is designed for 81 to come in, trip anybody up that's coming through. Liam Anderson doesn't even touch that guy. He just falls to the ground. Doesn't even get touched. He just can't bend enough to get around. So McLaughlin, number 38 here for the Broncos, wide open down the field. That isn't anybody's fault except for Liam Anderson. So we have the Broncos once again in the red zone going down to score with Bo Nix. Bo Nix had 4 scoring drives, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Bo Nix was doing his thing against any of our defense in this game. And here in the red zone, again, too much cushion. He's taking what we're giving him. He did a lot of that in this game. Good job by the rookie in his first NFL action. Really didn't shy away from that. And that's partly because of coaching, right? Sean Payton is his coach. And Sean Payton probably preaches that, right? Take whatever the defense is willing to give you. Drew Brees made a career off that in New Orleans. So this is just a couple plays later. I already had the play started here. Grant Stewart following the running back out. You have this guy, bracket coverage up here against this guy. Looks like he's kind of manning him up down here. He's bodying him right now. Might be a pick play coming right here. So let's progress this. Boom, gets it right in. Again, that's Liam Anderson here in coverage. So Liam, once again, letting that up. Just watch this in full action. Watch Liam Anderson here. Just can't keep up with 87 as he's going across the field. Bo Nix gunning that thing in there. All right, so here we are a little while later. Zach Wilson is now the quarterback for the Broncos. This is one of the plays of the game. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. A lot of people probably know what's coming here. You have the running back getting to the outside, and boom, Mike Abraham popping that ball out, taking it to the house. That's what you want to see from your DBs. Okay, that's the kind of thing that makes Kenny Moore so great at that nickel position. We've talked about on this channel so much about Mike Abraham being the future for the Colts at that nickel position after Kenny Moore decides to hang it up, or if he ends up moving on in a couple years, whatever the case may be. Mike Abraham was getting blocked, gets off his block, attaches to the running back, says, nah, give me that ball. Strips it, grabs it, takes it to the house. That's the kind of effort you want to see from the defense, kind of effort you want to see from a rookie, somebody coming in, immediately making plays. All right, so here we have the next drive for the Broncos. Amir Speed down here on the bottom. Not going to lie to you, don't know who else is currently on the field, but this is going to be a play action pass with Zach Wilson on the field, getting chased by Levi Bell, who we signed from the UFL, getting Zach Wilson out of the pocket, but Zach Wilson able to dump it down. And again, just a good job by the secondary, right? There's a secondary video, so let's watch what the secondary is doing here. Got a guy crossing the field, got a guy 19 down here, and we got this guy locked up in between these two guys. So just overall, a good job of pasting ourselves, two different receivers, but then you have 84 leaking out right here. So let's see what 58 does here. Okay, he starts going after Zach Wilson. So really did his job, right? They don't want to put the corner in a terrible position to let that receiver just go loose. So he starts going after Zach Wilson to cut off his angle, and there's nobody here. Zach Wilson able to throw this back, hits 84, and is able to get a few yards on this one. All right, here we are a couple plays later. And what you see here, once again, deep safety, corner dropping back, 84 out here in some space. Zach Wilson not currently looking at him. Let's see what ends up happening. He turns up the field. 43 going to be on him. Have a receiver getting left alone basically right here because this guy turns up the field. So let's play this and see what Zach Wilson decides to do with the ball. And boom, ends up checking it down, which is why Zach Wilson is traded from the Jets and is now the third-string quarterback for the Broncos because he's not going to look over here and see that this guy is absolutely wide open. He ends up checking it down, had time to throw. He could have seen the guy on the edge of the field. We get lucky right there. Honestly, we get lucky, right? Whoever this is up here ended up falling back way too far and left his receiver wide open. So here we have the Broncos coming out 5 wide, right? And they had nobody in the backfield. We're rushing 4 against their 5. And we have the one deep safety on the side of the field where there were 3 guys, but we have Grant Stewart over here on the side of the field that had the 2 players. So as we keep rolling, Zach Wilson looking down the field. Looks like he's about to chuck this thing down. And boom, he had his guy. This guy got inside. That probably could have been a touchdown with Mims right there. Probably easily could have been a touchdown. See him, boom, break inside. Yeah, that was a better quarterback than who's number 36 here. Number 36, Kendall Brooks, would have just given up a touchdown right there. But luckily, bad throw by Zach Wilson. Ends up getting deflected. Kendall Brooks making up some ground to get to where that was. And the very next play, Zach Wilson coming out, going empty again. Looks like this time they have the tight end on the field, 2 on one side, 2 on the other. So we get this thing rolling. We have the one deep safety once again. And boom. As we keep this rolling, have this guy bracketed, this guy on the inside. Looks like Amir Speed is on his hip right here. Grant Stewart's got this guy on the outside. See what Zach Wilson decides to do. He's throwing it here, anticipating the comeback here. And he was correct. Ends up getting there. Mims, once again, able to make a play on this defense. All right, so this here ends up being a play action play. And really, I just want to watch with you what happens here. They end up going out to the side over here. Okay, so watch this play action. Boom. Play action here. I mean, terrible play action, too. It's not like it should even be that great. The tight end, though, looked like he was blocking Grant Stewart. You have 36, Kendall Brooks over here. Amir Speed seems to know what's going on. Maybe he's just following 13. But just easy pitch and catch. Yeah, Amir Speed didn't know either. This guy came over here all alone. Looked like he was blocking. Broke out real quick for the quick screen. Nothing to really do there. Nobody was able to recognize what was going on there. All right, so this here, a little bit later in the game, Broncos dropping back to pass here. This deep in the fourth quarter, we're getting close to the end of the game here. Let's just let this roll, see what they end up doing. Getting the quick screen out here. So let's back this up. See exactly how this transpires. Now 43 out here. Let's see. Mike Abraham hanging back out here. And looks like whoever this is, this linebacker, that was his assignment. He's very late breaking on where that was going. I don't know exactly what his assignment is, but it looks like, he's manning him up. He's manning him up. I feel like this linebacker is supposed to man him up and was just late. Maybe he thought it was going to be a run and he didn't react. But wherever that running back goes, he should have been going with him from the looks of what was happening there. So just a busted play right there in coverage. So this here a little later in the drive. This is where the Broncos are basically, they're trying to end the game. They're trying to get first downs in this game. And you see playing up. The corner's actually playing up on him here, which makes this so surprising. He just breaks to the inside basically immediately, and the corner just lets it happen. Zach Wilson looks in, boom, easy completion, right? Able to get the very easy completion right there. On number 30, Jalen Simpson, who is, I believe, a former safety getting tried in at cornerback, I believe. But either way, Jalen Simpson, rookie this year, ends up letting up the easy reception. No real resistance off the line of scrimmage right there. Okay, so that's going to be that on the defensive side of things, right? The things that we were able to see against preseason, what can you really take from it? The Broncos are one of the best teams to really pick apart the team from all the different levels, right? Jared Stidham and Zach Wilson, both plenty of experience starting in the NFL. Zach Wilson, obviously, more than Jared Stidham, but they've both been starters in the NFL at different times. Bo Nix, really good coming into the NFL, going to be the future of the Broncos franchise. So I thought it was a good test for the defense. Again, they gave up 34 points. It wasn't pretty the whole time. There were some blown assignments, but one thing you really notice looking at the film, we're not going to give up a bunch of deep passes. We're not going to give up a bunch of stuff going deep all the time. We did a good job bracketing that in. And I guess learning from mistakes, right? Learning from the 75-yard touchdown that happened last year against Houston, right? Not letting those things happen, especially in key moments like it did last year in the game against Houston. So going forward, a lot to learn from, a lot of young guys in the secondary. I think we saw in the game that Dallas Flowers just needs to get more reps. He needs to get more reps. But it would appear that at this point, Jalen Jones and Juju Brents probably should be the guys. That should be the starters. I'd like to see Juju get a little bit of run. He's been injury prone, so will we see him in the preseason? I don't know. I think it'd probably be smart, right? If he can't stay healthy in the preseason, can he probably stay healthy in the regular season? Probably not. So we'll see what happens with there. Starting to have my doubts about that, to be completely honest with you. But I think, again, as Dallas Flowers continues to get more reps, it'll come back to him. I just think there's a lot of rust to knock off there. So want to see better from the secondary. It was good to see the plays made by Mike Abraham. Thought he played really well. I think he had a really good PFF grade, like 91.3 or something like that. Really good PFF grade for Mike Abraham. So excited about what's happening with the Colts. Some of the guys on defense and on different teams of defense had some of the best PFF grades of the weekend. So we end up giving up 34 total points to the Broncos' first, second, and third team. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot to build on. Again, need to see what happens in the practices with the Cardinals this week. Gonna need to see what happens in the game against the Cardinals with all the depth pieces. We'll get a better idea of depth pieces and all these young guys on the team. What can they do? Because starters probably aren't going to play against the Cardinals, but the other guys are going to have a lot of time, a lot more time to play because the starters aren't going to be part of the lineup. So going into it, that's what we're going to be looking for. Once again, I'm probably going to have another one of these videos next week talking about the secondary and just going back, looking at how are they doing, how's everybody doing. I think for the most part, you got to take a grain of salt with a lot of stuff we see because it's part of the scheme, part of the Gus Bradley scheme that there are going to be different times where we're just backing off for receivers, right? We're giving them 6-7 yards on the line of scrimmage. It's just part of the scheme. For some of you, you don't give up anything deep. Just put everything in front and wait for the offense to make a mistake, which is frustrating. I guess it's at this point probably an old school thought. I would rather be more aggressive on defense. I think a lot of people would rather be more aggressive on defense. But then you also go to, secondary could have a better year if we're able to get more consistent pressure. And Latu looks like the real deal. So we're going to be looking at more of this stuff as we go along. Plenty of film left to come throughout this week. So make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you get notified when more of those videos come out. And any of the other content, we're going to have live training camp updates. Going to be streaming on Wednesday and Thursday. And then the game on Saturday going to be streaming. So make sure you keep dropping by. Appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.